I was rushed to a nearby health center for an emergency surgery. I wasn't really that scared. I knew the God of Prophet Elvis Mbonye was with me.
If you get to realize that he wants your life to be unmistakable, unmistakably his, that they may not say that, no, there's also an unbeliever who produces. No. He wants to make you that testimony of himself.
This is a live broadcast from heaven. Can one man determine the course and rulership of nations around the world? If not, how do you explain a prophecy of Trump's election when all the odds were in the opponent's favor? Or the end of an era in Zimbabwe when there seemed to be no change in sight? How do you explain Prophet Elvis Mbonye's declaration concerning the leadership in Brazil when all signs indicated otherwise?
A expectativa em Brasil, a expectativa em Brasil, ele também
We have some breaking news from Brazil, where the Senate there has voted to impeach President Dilma Rousseff because of an accounting scandal.
Millions of Brazilians have taken to the street, and with public opinion in their favor, opposition lawmakers decided to forge ahead with an impeachment motion in Congress, accusing Rousseff not of corruption, but of breaking budget laws to try and hide the sorry state of the economy ahead of re-election.
For 5 long hours, they'd watched on giant screens as members of Congress voted one after the other in favor of impeaching the president.
At the time of this prophecy in 2012, the then president of Brazil was at the height of her popularity. And as such, what Prophet Elvis declared was unprecedented. And yet, soon after the prophecy was given, her popularity began to crumble dramatically. According to the prophecy, Prophet Elvis said that this would be something bad. As time would reveal, the conditions of the former Brazilian president's ousting and impeachment were questionable, one she herself described as a silent coup.
Qualquer justificativa constitucional para esse tipo. Mas o golpe não foi cometido apenas contra mim e contra o meu partido. Isso foi apenas o começo. O golpe vai atingir indistintamente qualquer organização política.
The record is unquestionable. The word of this prophet, Prophet Elvis Mbonye, with undisputed precision on every topic and aspect, from entertainment to governance, has prevailed no matter how inconceivable the outcome. And for those of us who have submitted to this unsurpassed prophetic grace, we celebrate and accord double honor upon the most trusted custodian of the mysteries of God, revealed to our generation, Prophet Elvis Mbonye.
This exactly is the reason the Lord brings you before a prophet. If the prophet can pick up on something that has not yet showed up in the physical, and he declares it to you, and you see it, he can tell you that your money is being counted. Glory to God. I hear a sound of an abundance. Glory to God.
To become an heir of gold, visit our partnership desk every Tuesday, 5:30 p.m. at Zoe Grounds opposite KCCA Stadium, or visit our website at www.prophetelvis.com/heirs of gold. It's a lifestyle.
The power of the name is the power of the name is it is Jesus. The power of the name is the power of the name is it is Jesus.
Glory to God. If you can put up with, okay, yes, I get 800,000 shillings every month, and I have to pay 200 for this and that, and it's good enough for me, well, that's okay for you. But if, for some reason, the Spirit of God manages to stir you up, and you can see that there's a life that He has for you, not just because of you, but that He wants to make you a testimony concerning the superiority of His kingdom over the kingdoms of the world, and you begin to pursue it, it begins to come to you. You see, He says in Matthew chapter 5 verse 6, He says, blessed are those that hunger and thirst after righteousness. He says, for they shall be filled. He says, blessed are they which do hunger and thirst. Because you see, if you can put up with the state of affairs and you are okay, you do not hunger for something greater than that which is around you, greater than that which you have been experiencing. You remain on the same level. There must be something within you that pants. You see, the psalmist said, Psalms 42 verse 1. Psalms 42 verse 1. He says, as the deer panteth for the water, as the deer panteth after the water brooks. He says, so panteth my soul after thee, O God. I'm telling you, this is exactly what so many people miss. That hunger about the things that transcend what they have been experiencing. And that is, you see, that is the danger of why some people settle in what is merely religious. Because they are comfortable with what they are experiencing. You see, if you get to realize that the realm of God is an eternal realm, and anything you experience of Him has no end, you will pursue it, you will pant after, you will thirst after the depth of it. You will go and you will experience it from glory to glory to glory. But now you see, there are people who, after they experience one thing, a measure of a blessing, and they are placed in certain positions, and they get a certain measure of life, they settle. They don't see what the Lord is seeing. He says, you see, because you see, He wants your life to be unmistakable. You see, unmistakably His. That they may not say that, no, there's also an unbeliever who produces things. No. He wants to make you that testimony of Himself. So you see, in the first measure of blessing, it will, the lines will almost be blurred. It will almost appear like, it's not that much big. But you see, when your heart is set to experience the deeper life, the deeper things of Him, and then He begins manifesting and increasing until He gets your life on a level where, you see, the remnants will have to write their own magazine other than Forbes. You see? Because you see, what can you say about a person who wakes up and they have probably 5 million on their account and they start building a city somewhere around the country? And they accomplish that feat, and where it is not about anything that is physically demarcated. Now, I don't know whether you're seeing what I am seeing. So you see, He says, as the deer panteth after the water brooks, so panteth my soul after thee. After thee, oh God. You see, I know this place. I know that place where you have experienced, yes, but then because you have tested eternity, you will never get to a place where you settle and you say, oh, this is my life. It draws you, deep calleth unto deep. It draws you to go much deeper and deeper, because you know that there are things that are, you see, that are greater than what you have tested. It says, as the deer, verse 1, as the deer panteth for the water, so my soul panteth after thee. Verse 2, it says, my soul thirsteth for God, for the living God. It says, my soul thirsteth for God, for the living God. When shall I come and appear before God? Can you imagine that? Can you imagine? He's, you see, he had experiences with God, and he had taken a time before appearing before God. But you see, for you have not yet even appeared once. Now, for you are content with having a 30 minutes prayer, and then you go and say, oh yeah, sure. Then you say that when I was, at least I felt goosebumps around when I was what? But you see, what he's saying, his prayer time, he's saying, I thirst after you. I know exactly what he's talking about. He says, when shall I come and appear before you? I know. There's a time after I'd just gotten born again and experienced the things of the Spirit. I remember I would be on campus any time of the day I wanted. When I lifted up my hands, that wind that came from heaven would descend down on me, and it would blow into me. Actually, I remember the first time I tried it on campus, there was a lecturer that was boring in front, and then I was watching him and talking. I said, okay. So I put my hands now down because I don't want to distract. I put my hands and started praying in the Spirit slowly, and that wind started coming, and I knew. I knew not even the lecture room could hinder me to just enter therein. So you see, now, I experienced that every single place I was. Then a period came where it took a longer time without experiencing. I lift my hands and nothing happens. Nothing. You see, now, yeah? You see, so I know exactly what David was talking about. He says, when shall I come? I know the courts of glory. I know the courts of heaven. I know what it feels to be on the throne of grace. And you see, when you have experienced it, you will not be satisfied with, praying and Chechi, how are you? Yeah, the Lord did wonderful. No. You will not be content with that. You see, when you take 1 week, 2 weeks, Then a month, something in you begins to start up. So when, Lord, when will I appear before you? Can you imagine if the setting of your heart is this? Say, when? And I'm talking about from your innermost core. This is something you do not take lightly. You actually do not settle for anything less than that. It says, when will I come? When will I come and appear before you? Let me tell you, I had that in my heart. I prayed in the Spirit until a time came when I actually, that was about the time when I was completing campus. So the first of the encounters I had after a long time, almost like a year, is when I slid into a vision. And then I met an angel, and he told, he around the campus place, and he asked me what I was looking for, and I think I've told that story before. You see, but now you see, after that, when now you have contact with the heavenly realm, then you realize that, you see, that is your life. You can't settle. You see, I've had people who are great teachers, and the things, especially when you come from the word of faith, the things you really take for granted, and they become doctrinal to you, but are actually not real. They're not actual. People say, when you drink of this living water, you will never thirst again. You've had things like that. But actually, it's not talking about the thirst of the things of the Spirit. It's talking about the worldly thirst. Now, in other words, once you come into contact with the eternal life of God, the eternal realms, whatever it is, whether it is the life that produces stuff on the outward or that calls you forth in the realm of the Spirit, you cannot settle for anything other than it. And so you see, he says, when shall I come and appear? When shall I come? Now that is a hunger. That is a thirst. And let me tell you this. I have had times when it has so consumed me, and I've prayed in the Spirit with a deep hunger, with a deep thirst. It is almost like a desperation. And then, at times, while I slide off into sleep, I am somewhere. I am there. Because you see, sometimes you slide off, and in your dreams, you see, you are in the heavenlies. You see, you never, this kind of life, have you ever noticed that you don't just dream about the Lord, whether you want it or not? You don't just, you may dream about your friend. You may dream about someone you've been fantasizing about. But you see, there is something about the Lord that you just can't dream about him. He doesn't come in the flesh. There's something, let me tell you this, let me challenge you. You go and try and say, okay, now, let me think about you, Lord, and then no, it doesn't come that way. You can think about any stuff, and you will dream about it. But when it comes to the Lord, there's got to be the deep calling at deep. It comes from your heart. It comes from your spirit. And then as your thirst calls unto his realm and they connect, you'll find yourself either in a dream or in a vision, or somehow you'll appear there or he will appear here. It just happens that way. This is what confuses so many people. They don't realize that this is a state that people just decide to occupy. You occupy a place where you know that all things should rightly belong to you. You don't feel like you are cheating on things. No. They rightly belong there. And you see, that's what it means. They came into their senses. Because you see, you wake up, you come into the system. No, I don't belong there.
I was rushed to a nearby health center. I wasn't really that scared. I knew the God of Prophet Elvis Mbonye was with me.
Excellent results and an excellent, healthy lifestyle. Tender Christian's life took a 360-degree turn when he decided to believe in an unmatched supreme power. And this is the power of prophecy.
Anything is possible here. The glory that is here is able to materialize anything at any time. The angels that are here at your service. Enter the realm of the spirit and realize there is absolutely nothing on this ground that is impossible. Absolutely nothing. Glory to God.
Have you ever encountered Prophet Elvis Mbonye personally?
On 22nd January this year, I remember he released a special healing grace for those people who are sick at the moment. But at that time, I wasn't sick, but I held on to it. 1 week later, I experienced a sharp pain in my lower abdomen. I was rushed to a nearby health center in Zambia Hospital for an emergency surgery and under spinal anesthesia, and they diagnosed me with testicular torsion. Funny enough, I wasn't really that scared. I knew the God of Prophet Elvis Mbonye was with me. My mother would visit me and tell me not to give up because he would always be there for me. And within a few days later, I was completely healed. When I was now entering S4, start of 2018, I honored Prophet Elvis Mbonye with 50,000 shillings. It was part of my pocket money. And I prayed so that I would get 8 in 8. I felt like I could actually do this, because all the miracles that are happening to people, the testimonies they are giving, I said that maybe my time will come when I'll also be giving testimony about what the God of Prophet Elvis has done for me. One Tuesday, during third term last year, Prophet Elvis called out anyone who had a child named Christian to come to the front. My mother rushed to the front, started praying, praying. So he held her hand. Didn't really say anything about her, but just held her hand.
If you have a child called Christian, come forward.
And because she believes in him a lot, she knew that holding hands doesn't just mean that maybe I'm just touching something. She knew that her problems were being solved. When the results came out that day, I didn't feel like checking. I said, it will dampen my mood. But someone insisted, got my index number, typed it in, then just showed me my results on the spot. And when I saw 8, I just jumped. Hey, this is a miracle, because I had never gotten it before. And that's when I say, I must tell people what happened here. Yeah?
On 31st January, not only did I get 8 in 8 subjects, but also my name was printed in the national newspaper, the Daily Monitor, on 1st February 2019 as one of the best students in Uganda.
When I went to school, everyone who saw me was excited. So the head teacher called me to her office and told me that if you decide to stay in this school, we will give you a bursary. They gave me a bursary covering my tuition fees for A-level for 2 years. My mom was very excited. She told me that her prayer had been heard. She always told me whenever I would feel like, maybe I should give up on this. Say, don't worry, the God of Prophet Elvis Mbonye will come and help you, leading me to do things that I even didn't know that I was supposed to do, which led me to that moment. I was like, seems he was here all the time. Even when you feel like, here, I'm going to die. He saves you from there.
And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and the word of their testimony. Do not let your destiny hang in the balance. Share your testimonies at testimony@prophetelvis.com. You can now listen, purchase, download, and watch supernatural, life-awakening messages from Prophet Elvis Mbonye on your laptop, tablet, phone, and all other devices at your own convenience, anywhere from your cars to your homes and workplaces by visiting prophetelvis.com/shop.
Hey, have you seen this? Oh, wow. I really love this app. I can chat with my friends. I can listen to audio podcasts from Mr. Future. I can create my own journal. And the best part is, I can also buy and sell at the marketplace. I can watch Prophet Elvis live. Cool, right? And there's so much more to be done with the online community. All you have to do is go to Google Play Store, type Remnant Revolution, and bingo, I have it on my phone.
This app connects you to the revolution of dominion God has initiated through his chosen prophet of this age, Prophet Elvis Mbonye. This is the Remnant Revolution. Download the app now on Google Play. The moment is now. The season is here. More than a momentary reality, this positioning is for eternity. We have been afforded the great privilege of awakening to a life where we are subject to these same manifestations of power, reflecting a multiplied magnitude of this transcendent glory. Partake of the powers of the age to come every Tuesday, 5:30 p.m. at Zoe Grounds opposite KCCA Stadium, Lugogo, with Prophet Elvis Mbonye. And for those flying in, contact our public relations desk by emailing pr@prophetelvis.com. Connect with Prophet Elvis Mbonye by going to www.prophetelvis.com/Facebook, prophetelvis.com/Twitter, prophetelvis.com/Instagram, and prophetelvis.com/YouTube. For this and more information, visit our website at www.prophetelvis.com.
We magnify you, Lord, for there is none like you. We lift your name on high. We lift your name on high. You are worthy of all praise, worthy of all glory. You are worthy of all power and all honor. The power of your name is here. It is here.